Bournemouth 2, Chelsea 2. I'm not going to do an intro, and it's the first time in quite a long time I've not been in the mood to do my usual welcome, the thing with the intro and the music and that. I just want to get straight into it, man. So this is 2 wins in 9 games. One of those wins came against League One Cardiff, and the other one, a reasonably resurgent Everton. Also contained in those games is a 0-0 draw to Bournemouth, a loss to Leeds, and a loss to Atalanta in the Champions League. So where are we right now? Right, this one is kind of the one that has tipped me closer to the edge in terms of saying the dreaded 2 words that I never really wanted to say, and I was hoping he'd be able to turn it around by this point. But we're getting into Graham Potter territory, aren't we? That's the honest truth now. We're literally getting into Graham Potter territory. As of right now, compared to last season, we're 5 points behind where we were last season. Where we are, particularly in the league, is really, really tight. Now, as I'm recording this, Man United are playing Wolves. If Man United beat Wolves, which you'd expect them to, we'll finish this weekend 7th. We'll finish December 2025, not with a bang, but, my friends, with a whimper. 7th in the league. 2 wins in 8 games, which is probably going to extend to 2 wins in 9 games, isn't it? Let's be completely honest, because in 4 days' time, 5 days' time, we take on Man City in the Premier League, who are title challengers. And that is, that is just 100% true. So the thing that's really, really got me about this, right, is my support for the team and Maresca and everything this season has not been based on, I think we're on for a title challenge. That's why when we've had some bad results and things haven't gone really well, I haven't instantly dropped to this the world's ending kind of thing, because when we went into this season, I said it in my videos, I've said it on live streams that I featured on, I was very much of the opinion that I didn't think the squad and the manager was ready for a title challenge, but I thought we were ready to push on. I thought we were ready to progress. I thought we were ready to get better. That's not what's happening, man. That's literally not what's happening. We're not getting better. We're not progressing. We're actively regressing. We're getting worse. I think Maresca might be worse this season than he was last season. And the thing is, we were warned about this by Leicester fans. Leicester fans said he'll have a good first half of the season, and the second half of the season, he won't change his ideas even if the results don't go well. And Leicester fans lamented the fact that although they won the league when they got promoted from the Championship, the second half of their season was quite lackluster, and it was due to largely the manager. I understand, right, the 2 big arguments surrounding what's going on with Chelsea. Well, no, actually, there's 3 big arguments. The owners is the obvious one. I can't get into the conversation about the owners because they're not going anywhere, man. That's just the truth. Whether we like it or not, and this is the thing, this is why I don't really entertain the conversation very much, and this is why I don't really go in on the owners. It's not about having any great love for them or loving what they're doing, but the truth of the fact is they're probably not going anywhere unless things completely capitulate and the club starts costing them money. The second this club starts costing them money, then they'll go. But until then, they're not going anywhere, so I'm not going to entertain that. The manager and the players are the most part of what you've got left. Okay, maybe there's a conversation to be had about the sporting directors and stuff as well, but I really just want to focus on the manager and the players. We beat Barcelona. We beat PSG in the Club World Cup final. We beat Liverpool, although, yes, that was the beginning of their shaky run of form. It was true, but they were coming off of a reasonably good run of form at that point. We've got the tools, right? And this is basically me saying that, yes, I think we could have better players, especially if we want to go for a title challenge. But where we are right now is we're not talking about a title challenge. We're talking about comfortably getting in the top 4 and progressing on where we were last season. We've got the players to beat Bournemouth twice. We've got the players to beat Leeds. We've got the players to beat Atalanta. We had the players to beat Newcastle. We had the players to beat Arsenal with 10 men on the pitch. I know that we only got the draw, but the momentum of that game was in our favour and we could have won. Had we have had 10 men on the pitch for that game, we could have won. So I can't wholeheartedly thrown myself into the idea of throwing the players under the bus yet. Not that everyone's perfect. Like, we can pick at players. Do you know what I mean? 100% we can. But I can't get over this thing where we're good enough to beat Barcelona in the Champions League, which is rare. But we're not good enough to beat Leeds. We're not good enough to beat Bournemouth. Enzo Maresca is the only thing I can see as of right now, and things evolve, things change, things develop. If we lose, if we only get 2 wins in the next 8 games, then, you know, maybe there's a bigger conversation to be had about involving the players as well. But like I say, my view on the players is I don't think we've got the players for a title challenge, and I didn't at the start of this season, so I know they're not good enough to take us to the top. Do I think the players are good enough to potentially not be 7th after today? Depending on what happens in the Man United game. This might come out after that's finished. But do I think we've got good enough players to not be 7th in the Premier League when we were 2nd a month ago? Yeah, I do. I think we had the players to beat Leeds. I think we've got the players to beat Bournemouth. I think we've got the players to beat Brentford, Crystal Palace, and albeit they did very well, I think we've got the players to beat Sunderland as well. And the problem is, right, in terms of progression, where we are right now, we can beat Liverpool and we can beat Barcelona in the Champions League, and do you know what, we might even beat Man City, because Maresca has shown he's pretty good at beating a big team when it comes to tactics. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we beat Man City and that's our 2nd Premier League win out of the last 5 or 6. Do you know what I mean? We've dropped all of those points, and getting 3 points against City is only important when it's coming off of the back of beating all of the teams that you're supposed to beat. I could have dealt with losing to 1 or 2 of these teams and not picking up points against a couple of these teams. Yeah, okay, but this is getting silly now. This is getting silly. Where do we pick up points next, right? We've got Fulham. Okay, maybe we pick up points against Fulham. But I'm not confident anymore. Do you know what I mean? I'm not looking at our team being like, yeah, we'll definitely beat Fulham. I'm 100% going into that game going, well, if they come out with a high press and a few long throws, anything could happen. Maybe our blunt attack can't put goals past them. Maybe we put 4 past them. I don't know. I really want to ask the question, guys. For me, personally, I can only really look at the manager at the moment, because it's the manager's job to protect your team against long throws. We'd been beaten by long throws a few times during this season already. That's the point. You go, right, long throws are a problem. Let's figure out how to deal with that problem. And then you prepare for long throws, because long throws are not something that come along very often, but it's not like they're this absolutely debilitating thing that no team can defend against, because otherwise every team would just always put long throws against every single team, and that's not happening. We are suffering from these long throws, man. We are suffering from these set pieces. We are suffering with players lacking focus in the moments. I almost feel like part of the problem is we spend so much time, while Maresca maybe spends so much time telling our attacking players what to do and where to be, funnel it out wide, get it to Garnacho, get it to Pedro Neto. But he's not spending maybe enough time talking to the defenders about where they need to be in certain situations. The defending was calamitous. And this is also coming from the Trevor Chalobah, Wesley Fofana duo that got us like 3-4 clean sheets back to back. This is the other thing. Like a month ago, we'd scored the 2nd most goals in the league and had conceded the least. At least had the most clean sheets in the league. So we had one of the best defensive records and one of the best attacking records a month ago. So again, we've got the same players. If anything, we've actually got more players now than we did then, because we were still waiting for Cole Palmer to come back from injury. It just doesn't make any sense to me, man. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry, what this isn't really, by the way. If you've gotten this far, I appreciate it. What this isn't really is a match review. I take notes while I watch the games, and do you know what I mean? I had the first half I just like mapped out, and I was like, right, okay, cool. Caicedo gets sent off Caicedo gets yellow in the 3rd minute, which means we miss against Man City, and then Bournemouth scores straight afterwards, and then Esteval wins a penalty. Esteval William, by the way, unbelievable today, absolutely fantastic, and maybe one of the answers to our problems at the moment is putting our 2 strongest wingers on in games that we need to win, which is Esteval and Pedro Neto. Garnacho, I had hopes that he was going through this period where he was starting to get the ball a lot more, he was starting to get chances, but it's still not really looking like it's happening. And Caicedo's been off it. kind of since the Arsenal game, really. His focus, his concentration. Maybe he's just tired because he's played so much football in the last 2 years. I don't know. But either way, we see Andre Santos come on for the last 4 minutes of the game today. Do you know what I mean? It's just like when you need a goal. Do you know what I mean? It's like what you like. So Liam Delap played the entire game, but the last 4 minutes is the right time to take him off. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to take Liam Delap off, you take him off at half time or the 60th minute, like you did with Cole Palmer. Respect to Cole Palmer today, didn't make a fuss about being taken off. Whether it's his minutes being managed or whether it's just a conversation that's been had with him, I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's good, fair play to him for being a professional when he was taken off. I just can't see where we start to turn our season around unless we magically start winning lots of big games. We've got loads of big games coming up, man. Arsenal, Man City, more Champions League. We've got Napoli in the Champions League coming up as well. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. It's going to be so tough, man. It's going to be so tough. We've got a double header against Arsenal, and then we'll have to play them again in the Prem as well. Do you know what I mean? So we've got at least 3 games coming up against the champions or the proposed champions, you know, the guys in front at the moment. We're being outstretched by Aston Villa. The top 3 are absolutely pulling away. And that's because we should have been pulling away with them. Do you know what I mean? Where we should have been was pulling away with them. The Aston Villa loss was hard to take. Not because it wasn't even just the fact we lost. Like, Villa are a really, really good team. It was the manner in which we lost. We were completely on top for 60 minutes of the game, and then we just completely threw it away because, again, Enzo Maresca didn't know what to do. He didn't have a plan B. He didn't have a tactical shift, another idea. And this is what Leicester fans said, man. This is exactly what Leicester fans said. And we didn't see it in the first season. This is what's really surprised me as well. It's like, in the first season, he changed tactics. He changed things up. He was adaptable. He played the games that were in front of him, but now he seems to be sticking to this rigid dogma, this rigid tactical dogma that he set for himself, and he's not willing to get away from it. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. And it's little things as well. Like, Cucurella is injured today, so Malagusto plays at left back. That is not working. So at some point, Joshua Champong swaps over to left back, Malagusto goes to right back. And then when Joshua Champong goes off later, Malagusto goes back to left back. But we already know that Maresca didn't want him to be there because he'd already switched him during the game. And the answer to that is, if Yoro Hato gets more minutes during the season, because he doesn't even use all of his subs in the game, give Yoro Hato 10, 15 minutes every other game he's not playing. And then he's a bit more fit. He's a bit more ready. He's got some match fitness. Maybe Yorahato, he's injured. Right, okay, fair enough. Do you know what I mean? He's injured. But, you know, mate, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just pulling at straws. I'm clutching at all of the straws at the moment, Chelsea fans, and I need your help because my brain is melting. This is my first season as a YouTube creator, and I decided posthumously that I was going to follow my football team on camera. This has been a really hard season, man. And honestly, like I said it at the start, it feels like it's starting to get back to Graham Potter levels. This is awful. This is so bad. And like I say, the run of fixtures we've got in front of us, Fulham, okay, we could beat, but like I say, I'm not super confident. Charlton Athletic, okay, we'll beat them. But much like the Cardiff game, like, you have to. Do you know what I mean? You have to. And the thing is, Maresca could tank that because he, do you know what I mean? We could go out. If Maresca's like, I don't want any more games, we're going to go out in the first round of the FA Cup. We've seen it kind of before. It's Bournemouth, man. It's Bournemouth. Do you know what I mean? Do you know the funny thing as well? Like, Bournemouth haven't won a game in the Premier League since I think it was the 26th of October. And they still haven't. But that shows you that we should be winning that game. Do you know what I mean? We managed to keep their most potent attacking threat quiet for the majority of the game in Antoine Semenyo. Okay, cool. That's a thing. But don't concede long throws. Do you know what I mean? Be sharp, be aggressive, score goals. Even the substitutions again today, I think were a little bit wild. Like, I was watching a few of my mates' streams at halftime, and they were saying it, and a load of people in the comments were saying, get Delap off, get João Pedro on. I feel like Cole Palmer could have played maybe a little bit more. You know what I mean? I'm not a medical professional at the end of the day, but we've seen Cole Palmer play more than 60 minutes since he's come back from injury. Surely, giving our top contributor in João Pedro, who has 9 goals and assists this season, that's our top contributor, surely giving him some time with Cole Palmer rather than Liam Delap, who scored 1 goal against a 10-man Barcelona, is a better way to go. Is it not? Is it not? I don't know, man. This is a really difficult one. I'm not going to say the words just yet, but I think you all know where I'm getting at. And I think if we don't see improvement really, really quickly, like, I wouldn't be surprised to see something pretty drastic happen soon, man. Like, Blue Coast stuck with Graham Potter until the literal moment that they couldn't anymore. Are we going to do that with Maresca? Are we going to wait until we're 10th before we start questioning it? Are we going to see some mad January where signings just pour in? Maresca gets everything that he wants and we manage to scrape into the Champions League? Probably not. Maybe we get one player, maybe we get a midfielder to cover our absolute in-the-bin depth that is our midfield. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm tired of trying to look for the positives, which is ultimately what I've been doing for the majority of the last few games. I had a bit of an emotional rant after the Aston Villa game. That was kind of the first few cracks in the dam. Do you know what I mean? Like, for me, like I say, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. The reason I'm upset, whatever you want to call it, do you know what I mean? I'm annoyed in a footballing sense. Like, my life is fine. Do you know what I mean? My life is fine. But as far as the Chelsea stuff goes, like, the reason this is getting to me is this is me looking through the lens of not even thinking we're on a title challenge. This is literally me thinking that we could comfortably finish in the Champions League and win a domestic cup this season. And now I'm starting to get annoyed because it doesn't even look like we're going to do that. Like, if you're, look, I've allowed my expectations to be lowered. That's the truth, right? And that it's a dividing factor between Chelsea fans at the moment, isn't it? Is since Blue Co have come in, a lot of Chelsea fans haven't allowed their expectations to be lowered, and I respect that, man. 100% I respect that. Chelsea should be winning or challenging for the greatest honours. Do you know what I mean? 100% we should be. But I've allowed my expectations to be lowered because, in my eyes, I understand what a big job a rebuild is. But it's just, like I say, the thing with this as well is like, well, I'm not just instantly going to get the owners out, it's the sporting directors, the recruitment's been horrible. Like, yeah, I don't disagree with that in principle. But also, this time last year, or in and around December, we were second in the league. About a month ago, we were second in the league. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's like, title challenge. Again, I was quite conservative. I said, no, I don't think we're on for a title challenge. But I didn't expect us to get 2 wins in 8 games, 2 wins in 9 games, potentially, because we're coming up against Man City next, and they are absolutely killing it at the moment. It's through the lens of not even expecting a title challenge. This is really disappointing, man. This is really disappointing. And I am not going to be surprised to start seeing a lot more conversations about Maresca. Again, I don't want to talk about it loads, but this is another reason I wasn't happy about him coming out in the press and moaning. It's like, bro, you can moan when you're winning games. Do you know what I mean? You can moan when you're winning games. You're not losing all of these games because you don't have the players. You're losing all of these games because of the management, as far as I can see. Like I say, we should have beat Leeds. We absolutely shouldn't be losing to Leeds. We should be beating Bournemouth. Do you know what I mean? We 100% should be beating Bournemouth. Brentford, we should be beating Brentford. We should be beating Atalanta. Do you know what I mean? We've got the tools to beat these teams. Do we have the tools to get 90 plus points, which is kind of what you need for a title challenge? Maybe not. Do you know what I mean? Fair. Like, you know, I'm not going to argue that with anyone. But do we have the points to be comfortably in the top 3 right now? Yeah. We should be better off than Aston Villa are, 100%. But that's the difference, isn't it? They've got an unbelievable experienced manager who knows how to adapt to games, right? And we saw that in the Aston Villa game. I talked about this a bit in my Aston Villa review. Aston Villa started off with a stinky low block, basically playing a 4-4-2 with Morgan Rogers up front. And in about the 60th minute, they made 3 subs, changed their shape, changed their tactics, and dominated, and we had no answer for it. We've seen stuff like this too often, man. Today, that wasn't necessarily what this was. There was more of a natural evolution of Bournemouth's game today. They started off coming at us out of the gates, by the way, absolutely coming at us, looked really, really strong, and got, you know, considerably slower and a bit weaker and a bit more tired as the game went out and deferred to, you know, that more kind of a low block. But it wasn't like a tactical shift, change this because it'll frustrate them. It was just the ebb and flow of the game. So, I've been rambling for a while now. I'm probably going to start wrapping it up. Guys, where do we sit? What do we think? Where are Chelsea going to be in the next month? Do you know what I mean? How's January going to treat us, man? How's January going to treat us? Do you think that this is fixable with signings? Do we have to go out and spend 60 mil on 100 mil on 1 or 2 players just to get us back into the Champions League? The money is starting to get a little bit silly now. Does anyone else think that another manager could come in and do a better job with these players than Enzo Maresca is right now? Does the blame lay squarely at the owners and the sporting directors? Are the players not turning up for the manager? Is Enzo Maresca just not good enough at this point in his career? Which is crazy to say he's been linked with Man City. Nice one, guys. I'm going to wrap the video up there. Thank you very, very much for sticking around until the end if you did. And I will catch up with you all very, very soon. Take it easy. Peace.